Hey there. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Ben at 10 on this chill Friday morning. And that is literally the truth here. It is a chill Friday morning as we had low temperatures in the lower mid 60s across the area. The first time Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville dropped to the 60s so far this summer. So we're talking about the amazing weather that we have across the area for this weekend. And of course, we are going to look ahead at the weather, and we always look at the long-term forecasts, and I've been calling that Ben on a limb. We've made a little animation for that, so I'm going to just give you a little tease of what we'll show a little bit later in our program. Thanks for joining us, by the way, on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, right there, Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the good old World Wide Web. And here's a look at that animation. So that's been on a limb, meaning we're going to look at the long range forecast going out on a limb, meaning when we look at the long range forecast, sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not necessarily happen, but sometimes there's some strong signals in the long range data when we look at the GFS weather model and the European weather model. So one more. All right. A little silly there. All right. Let's take a look at the low temperatures this morning with the Indiana, I should say, mesonet. Kentucky has a mesonet as well. But some nice low temperatures, seeing 50s in northern Indiana. So these are like official scientific observation stations. And we're trying to get more and more throughout the Hoosier State. We've kind of got a desert of weather observation stations in Indiana. This one here in Crawford County, 63 degrees. So everybody waking up with refreshing 60s across the area. Going to extolmag.com/weather here. This is our weather page, and you can see the interactive radar, the current conditions, 7-day forecast that I posted, the weather story that I posted this morning too. By the way, it's pretty much all good news on the weather story. Let me refresh that. And there it is. And I just titled it Awesome First August Weekend. Happy August, by the way. July is over with. For the first time, we can call it a feel-good Friday. So you got all the forecast maps up there here for you, 7-day forecast. And also, hey there, Michael Long, American Family Insurance. So things are phenomenal. Let me go let my dog out. Annie wants to come outside. Hopefully she doesn't rip the cords and turn off everything, but bear with me. All right. Want to come outside? All right. Annie's like 14 years old and gets a little indecisive. She said she wanted to come out, and then she decided not to. All right. Falls of the Ohio camera. This is fallsoftheohio.org if you want to check it out. Looking along the New Albany and Clarksville waterfront. Hey, there's a boat out there. Let's go full screen. Oh, there it is. You see the boat? Somebody's having a good morning out on the river. All different kinds of species of fish you can catch out there. And panning off to the left, got a few bugs buzzing the camera. It's been a buggy spring and summertime. Gorgeous sky this morning. Hopefully you can get that coffee outside on the, maybe you've already had it, the back deck or the front porch, and enjoy this amazing, again, feel good Friday. Just a few leftover clouds. That front now well off to the south of us. So everything looking great across the area. Checking in on a few comments here. Popping in this morning. We've got Beverly Haggis from across the valley, I believe, over there. Won't be in on Monday. Got to go with my daughter to pick out the wedding dress. Exciting stuff for the Haggis family. We got a lot going on. We got Racing Louisville tonight. They've got their match at Lynn Family Stadium. And Louisville FC has their match tomorrow evening. Street Rod Nationals. My buddy, Reed Yaden, meteorologist Reed Yaden. You may have heard his name over the last decades. He will be live out at the Street Rod Nationals Saturday morning, so you can check in with him. We've got Perry Porter with a good morning, awesome morning, wonderful cool down across the area. Going to head out to the golf course a little bit later this afternoon for this perfect day. My buddy who I'm golfing with, Chad, said he might have to wear pants and a pullover. It's cold. I wouldn't say it's cold. I mean, we can't complain about this. Good morning. Enjoying the cool weather. And I'm just so happy that it turned out. And of course, if you're new to the show, we're going to look at your forecast in detail for Southern Indiana and beyond. Extol weather, Extol media. Extol means to highly celebrate, to praise. And that's what we do here throughout Southern Indiana and beyond. So we are definitely highly celebrating our beautiful weather here for today. So we're going to look at the forecast, then we're going to look at some of the weather model data. We'll look through next week as the kind of typical summer weather pattern returns, a little more like August, but not crazy next week. And we'll look even beyond next week at, I think, we warm up back to summer humidity, and then I think we're going to get another shot of a cool down next week, but the following week. So I think August is going to bring us better respites or breaks in the heat than what July did. July offered pretty much nothing. And Christian Walker, good morning to you. We're doing great here out live on the back deck of our house. And Christian says we've got our dog, Nikki. She's 12 years old, black lab. We had a black lab when we moved here about 11 years ago. Troy boy, but he only got to enjoy the property for about a year, and then he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Well, good luck with everything heading up to the wedding there, Beverly. And good morning, Lily and Lasley. So nice out this morning. So thanks for popping in the comments, guys, and thanks for letting us know where you're watching from as well. A couple comments or a couple things I want to give out here, some announcements as I shift the screen here. I want to give a shout out to Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. So we've got these partnerships, and we can't do this and provide this weather content without these partnerships and without you, of course, watching. So it is just a big partnership throughout Southern Indiana and beyond. So protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. They will have you covered in Indiana, but also Kentucky. So they can do commercial, they can do residential, they can do it all. 812-294-3595 is the number to call there. In the careers section, they're looking for a roofing repair technician. So there's that job opening. If you need an opportunity, you know someone that needs a job, a career, there you go. Now, if you need some help with a roof or a car, you're not happy with your insurance company, you can get a quote here from American Family Insurance and Michael Long, who I highly recommend. And of course, there are 163 reviews here that also highly recommend Michael Long. So he's going to give you that communication that you need to get whatever it is done. I can hear my neighbor up top mowing. Looks like he hit something. Hope he's all right up there. All right, libspaving.com, largest asphalt contractor around. So you go to the careers section here, and they would like your help as well. You can learn everything about their company, locally owned here out of Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, family-owned company, and you can see the job opportunities, superintendent, job opening, project manager. We're talking about some serious careers here, and you can level up your career right here at Ivy Tech. What a partnership they have with our community, really becoming a hub in the community for our workforce here in Southern Indiana with, again, partnerships with companies and organizations and institutions throughout the region. So you just head to the Sellersburg main campus right here. You can also register for Tuesdays at the Tech. They'd love you to come out to the campus and take a look at the programs that they have offered. Get registered for the fall sessions, which is August 25th. So coming up very soon, and you can see all the different programs that they have offered there for you as well. So looking back here at extolmag.com, I meant to go here and look at the current temperature, so that's what we're going to do. But again, there's your weather story for the day. There's our live stream up. Hey, you can see me in my backyard in two different ways. Very cool there. So we got the live stream everywhere, guys, on Facebook, YouTube, extolmag.com/weather. And here is the interactive radar. Of course, we're not going to need the radar this weekend, but looking at the temperatures, it's not just the radar. And hey, it is still in the 60s in several areas. So we've got 67, 68 in New Albany, 67 there up in the Knobs. We got Sellersburg at 71, 68 right there at the Clark Airport. 67 up the road here towards Memphis and Henryville. Scottsburg, 67 degrees. Madison, 66. Seymour, 68. We are all loving the current conditions across the area. Lanesville, 68. Just south of Corden. Was it towards Newton Middletown, 69 degrees. Louisville spots, upper 60s. What a nice, refreshing breeze. I hope you guys can get out and enjoy it. All right, so that is the current conditions across the area. We'll go ahead and bring up the forecast here. So let me bring this one up. And just a reminder, too, if you ever want to get partnered up with us, you can always just email me, ben@extolmag.com, jason@extolmag.com. Extol Media has full-on marketing, PR, and also advertising sponsorships, so we can get your word out if you'd like for your organization, your business. Again, all about partnerships in Southern Indiana. Jason@extolmag.com, Ben@extolmag.com. If you have any weather questions in general, feel free to reach out to me. So here are the headlines for today. Feeling good. Again, first time we've been able to say Feel Good Friday really this summer. And we've got Tammy Morton. Good morning from TSM and VLR. So you're going to have to remind me, Tammy, what TSM and VLR. I am blanking this morning. Let me know what that stands for. Bit more humid Sunday. Not much, though. What bird is that? Any guesses on what bird that is? That's not a cardinal, is it? Blue jay, maybe? I've got the Merlin app out. Oh, that's a Carolina wren. And then I can hear the hummingbirds behind me as well. The wren is singing about the beautiful morning out here. So again, I say just a bit more humid Sunday, but not much. It's going to be beautiful all weekend long. There could be an isolated pop-up shower in the afternoon Sunday, but I think that's a better chance over South Central Kentucky. So most of the weekend is going to be just awesome. And Lily and Lasley coming in with 72 degrees, perfect room temperature there. And, in the morning and the evening time, you probably feel free to crack open the windows. Be great for that backyard fire or camping is going to be amazing this weekend. Oh, okay. See, I'm just a little slow this morning. Thank you very much, Tammy, for letting us know about that. Tammy Morton tuning in this morning. Let us know where you're tuning in from, too, as well. I'd love to see all the representation across the entire area. We see folks tuning in from an hour east, west, north, south, and sometimes different parts of the country. We're going to be August-like next week, but that just means the humidity's on the rise, mostly in the 80s next week, so it's not going to be a heat wave. It's just going to be normal summer weather. So we're looking at 82 this afternoon. For the afternoon maximum temperature, 82, but a lot of the day will be in the 70s. So definitely just enjoy while you can. Laura, good morning. Good morning to the weather family. Hey, that's what we need to call it, our weather family here on Ben at 10. And good morning to my mom, who's right over the hillside over there from Mom and Grandma. Thanks for watching this morning. The cup this morning is not Big Happy. It is Bliss. And that is what this weather is this morning, bliss. All right, back to that forecast here for you. Laura from Valley Station. Love it down there by the river. And Tammy's coming in from Louisville, Kentucky. Christian's got the windows up in Carmel, Indiana, up there on the north side of Indianapolis. UV index today is at a 9, so very high. You can definitely get that sunburn. The pool water is probably still warm, but it's going to be cooling down over the next couple of days, and that will be good. Perhaps we don't have to shock the pool as much. We've got moderate levels here. If we want to try to complain about anything, maybe just a little bit of this weed pollen that's spreading around the area. So sometimes folks are impacted by grass pollen or tree pollen in the springtime and not by weed pollen and vice versa. So people are impacted different ways. So might be feeling that. And then our forecast here for today, 82 degrees, just a feel good Friday. I've said that like 3 times. So enjoy. Northeast wind at 5 to 15. And again, July is over with. It is our August 1st here. Our sunset at 8:52 is our sunsets are getting a little bit earlier. And tonight looks like an amazing evening here for Racing Louisville. Their match is going to be in the 70s. Again, after highs in the lower 80s as we get towards sunset out there at Lynn Family Stadium just about perfection. And tonight's low 62 degrees. AC gets a little bit of a break. Nice to take the humidity out of our upstairs. It's been a little bit humid even inside. North wind at around 5. Sun up at around 6:46 tomorrow morning. I wish I had the determination to get up around sunrise tomorrow morning and go for like a jog. It would be so awesome, but probably going to be sleeping in. But it would be nice. You're up early tomorrow morning. It's almost jacket weather. In your forecast and detail for tomorrow, for your Saturday, August the 2nd, we got lower 60s out the door, 77 at noon, and 83 for that afternoon high. So about identical to the weather that we have out here for today. We got dew points in the 50s, and you can feel it. 6:46 a.m. sunrise tomorrow morning, 8:51 sunset. Now tomorrow, Louisville City FC, beautiful evening once again. We're going to keep it going. 70s for the match out there at Lynn Family Stadium, northeast wind at around 5 to 10. Got the 56th annual Street Rod Nationals. As I mentioned, Reed Yaden will be out there live tomorrow morning, checking out those awesome street rods, all shined up out there at the Kentucky Expo Center. It brings like $7 million to our community. It is a huge event, like a nationwide event right here. So looking low to mid 80s, light breezes, and low humidity. So if you're heading out there, enjoy. 7-day forecast. Christian's in here with the positivity. Happy Friday. Happy first weekend of August. So 85 Sunday. I've just put a 20% chance there of a little isolated pop-up, but I think that's a better chance over central and southern Kentucky. Most locations stay dry. Now we're adding a little bit more humidity as we head into early next week. You can see that by the low temperatures back in the upper 60s, low 70s for our next work week. It gets a bit warmer and a bit more humid. We're looking at mid, upper 80s for much of next week, and maybe a couple of isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms. No storm systems really passing through. These are just kind of your garden variety pop-ups, which, wouldn't be bad to get every once in a while. If you dry out too long in the summertime, it doesn't take long for the ground and your yards and gardens and farm fields to dry out. So not a bad thing to occasionally have a shower or thunderstorm kind of roaming around. And we might get back up to around 90 degrees next Friday. But notice these temperatures are running in general at or below normal for this time of the year. So we will definitely take that. And in just a second, I'm going to bring up the radar and satellite and the weather models, which we typically do each morning right around 10:20. We start to dig into that weather model data. And if you're just tuning in, not a news segment necessarily, but we just have a little video for it. If you were on at the very beginning, I'll show you it once again. Here you go. So what is that? Been on a limb. We're looking long range forecast. Why on a limb? Because you're taking a risk. Talking about the long range. I like the voice at the end there. All right, let's get rid of that and bring up. Go and bring this up full screen here. At the amazing weather graphics here on Ben at 10. So this is actually, I wanted to put on the loop. And I want to do I want to do 2-hour loop. There we go. And I need to get rid of that and a text right there. There we go. Now we're cooking. So we still have some cloud cover over. Let me see if I can switch the map. I think I like this map better. You can see the clouds a little better. So let's go full screen here. So you can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I had to do it. Now you see clearly southern Indiana in the sunshine. I've heard it called the sunny side of the river. That's kind of the case right now. And you can see a layer of clouds still hovering over much of Kentucky as the visible satellite. There you can see once the sun comes up, the visible satellite starts to brighten the cloud cover. The rain heading into West Virginia. But really nice, quiet. So there it is. What's cool about this? We talked about this like a week and a half ago. Remember, we're waiting for this Canadian front, and you can see it just cut through the atmosphere and bring in that nice dry air. So that gives us a smiley face. Now, our friends down here, they're of course used to it. We're all used to it in the summertime, but they are going to continue to have the muggy weather down south. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and bring up the dew points. So let me go ahead and bring up the future radar. We don't need to look at the radar this weekend, so our weather model portion of the show might be a little bit quicker because of how quiet the weather is. But here is the dew point map. Oops. Get rid of that. So there's that dry air. That's such an awesome representation of the sharp contrast between dry Canadian air and tropical air. And you can see that, especially along and north of I-64, the dew points here. So just even drier than the weather models were calling for. It's just a little more humid, but still feels great in Kentucky too. You get those 70s dew points that we had much of this summer way down around the south. Hallelujah. It is awesome weather throughout the region. So what a dew point means is you cool the air temperature down to the dew point, you'll get dew, or you're going to condense water out of the air in the liquid form. So you'd have to go all the way down to the upper 40s and low 50s to get dew. So that means the air is very dry. And, it's kind of rare air for this time of the year to have this, but a nice break as that front has moved through. Let me get rid of that. And then let me see if I can go ahead and bring up the dew point map. These are the METAR observations, or the weather observations across the United States. So it's not weather model data, it's actual data. So the 70s dew points are down in Tennessee. Let me go ahead and go to the weather model and bring this. So this shows, graphically and the actual, just amazing. Again, dew points in the 50s, 60 dew point Louisville, awesome stuff. And then again, that tropical air down over the deep south. Wish we could keep it there, but it'll start to creep back up a little bit, especially in Kentucky. Sunday, you'll start to notice the humidity a little bit higher. And then next week, we're going to start to see that humidity rise back. And just a real quick check of the Climate Prediction Center. So we're going to be kind of near normal temperatures next week, back in the mid upper 80s. So this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. It just shows heat building over the midsection of the United States. We're kind of near normal. And then as we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, showing, back to kind of at or above normal temperatures as we head towards mid-August. But what I want to show you at the long range GFS as we go out a couple weeks is that I think we're going to get shots of relief that we did not get in July. So I think August is going to be a bit more kind to us in general. And that means we're going to start to look at the long range data. So you know what that means. Sorry, I had to do it. We're going to look at Ben on a limb here in just a second. Beverly asking, what is the temperature on August 10th? We can look at the weather model data 10 days out. That would be a Ben on a limb segment. Laura saying, ha, ha, ha. Barbara Braden, hey, good morning. Have a nice day. Looks like an awesome day. You are correct. Laura saying, it's wonderful. Tammy, a happy first day of August. And Ben on a limb, what about September? September in the Smokies is going to be great. I think you're going to be looking good there as the average temperatures start to go down. So our hottest part of the year is through around mid-August with an average high of 89. And then when you get to September, you start to see those average highs starting to go down. Also starts to trend towards a drier part of the year. And that's why my wife and I picked September 6th to get married, because usually one of the drier periods of weather. So August 10th might still be on the muggy side. I was seeing talking to Beverly here, a front that might move through around August 11th. What is that? Is that like a Monday? Yeah, Monday, August 11th. May have a front move through that around that time period. So let's look ahead. Let's look at the long range data here. And I'm going to bring up the model temperature work. And actually, I think the precipitable water is just the best visual for looking at these air masses. So tropical versus Canadian, we'll say. And that's kind of the battle in summertime. You got Canadian air, you got Caribbean air, basically. And you got the tropical air that wins most of summertime. But right now, Canadian air winning, as we can see here. Now let's go to Monday. That's going to be what, our August 4th. Happy back to school week, by the way, for a lot of kids in Southern Indiana. My son goes back next week. And then I know JCPS is back, I think, next Thursday. So it's back to school time. So the tropical air, Monday, the really, really tropical air is still down. You can see down here to the southeast. But we get this little bit of just kind of normal humidity. It's not going to be crazy, but you'll notice it's a bit more humid than today and tomorrow and Sunday. Now let's go to the 6th, so it'll be next Wednesday. Starting to see it. So what this is showing us is probably dew points like in the 70s. So we're starting upper 60s, low 70s, starting to get it more humid by the middle of next week. A couple pop-up showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but not a big deal. Like, it's not excessive. You can see the really, really tropical air hugging the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic down around Florida. So let's take this to like Friday, a week from now. That'd be the 8th. And so we're humid. And again, kind of typical summer pattern. Now, again, bet on a limb here. 9th, 10th would be Sunday the 10th. Still looking tropical. But what I'm seeing here is another front setting up coming in from the northwest. The Euro and the GFS showing this not next week, following week. It'd be fun to kind of keep tabs on this like we did over the last week and a half. I was really hoping this cool down would come, and thankfully the weather models had it come our way. Beverly's having a corn day on August the 10th. It'll probably be a little humid. Lillian said, I like that. Do it again. All right, we'll do the bet on a limb one more time here, since we're in the bet on a limb segment. I don't know why that tickles me. All right. All right, let's go to August 11th. So a couple Mondays from now. All right, so that's what we saw with this cool down. Notice let me go full screen here with this. The sharp contrast. So tropical air next Sunday, maybe into next Monday, but notice the sharp change. And so this would be another shot of some dry air if it's strong enough to kind of push through this tropical air that comes back to our area next week. Somewhat tropical. Probably not as bad as it has been, but it's going to be kind of typical summer humidity next week. But there's some hope here. The following week, as we get into closer to mid-August, you're looking around August 11th. We'll go to August 12th, and I believe that it will win the battle. At least it shows it here. So we would be back to the air that we have out there now. Not next week, but the following week. So there you can see, I'll go full screen with this. And boom, there we go. Once again, that would be awesome if we can get that. And that would just be another big smiley face right there. Tropical air down south. This time of the year, it's really a comfort cast since you don't have a lot of severe weather. You don't have a whole lot of changes necessarily. You're kind of in and out of heat waves. We're getting a nice break this weekend. Next week, we're back into humidity. But again, August 12th is what we're looking at here. That would be a Tuesday, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, maybe we're back into some relief. As far as temperatures go, it would be a drop off as well. So if we went to the 11th before that front moves through, we're on the very warm side, and maybe even go back to the 10th. So that shows some hot air back. I need to get rid of my drawing here. There we go. Hot air back across the region. As we query some of this, ooh, look at that. Look at the, oh, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. What we want is this. All right, so just to give you the setup here, this is August the 10th. So this is looking at Sunday, August, not this weekend, the following weekend. The heat could be back. But can we get that next front to work in and win the battle for the following week? So that's hot stuff back in the forecast. And then as we go to the 12th, the cooler air wins. And I don't think it would get that cool, but it shows you a cool down. This would be our next cool down potential. Cross our fingers that we can get this after back in the mugginess next week. August 12th week, we're back into some refreshing air. So at least this shows us that August gives us more chances of relief than July did. Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, for the first time this summer, dropped to 68 degrees. I think I'm going to have to do some digging, but I think this is going to be a record stretch that we just went through of mugginess, of moisture in the air, the highest level of moisture in the air for this long of a period of time. Not record high temperature stretch, but just record mugginess that we went through. All right. That there is your Ben on a Limb segment, which, here you go. All right, let me clear that off. We'll get back to the forecast here on what is a celebration of amazing weather throughout the region. See if I can bring up the current temps. Happy to be here with you guys on this Friday morning. Happy to get a chance to go golf with some friends later today. I think I need to bring up the model temperatures right now, but also if I go to here, and that is on, bring up the temperatures. So here are the current temps. Good stuff. So these are the current temperatures, not the weather model. Right now, here's what it's feeling like. 68 in Louisville, 60s throughout Indiana, 60s and 70s in Kentucky. Slower warm up today. We are loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We are loving it. Here's another look at the current conditions here with the interactive radar at extolmag.com/weather. And there's our live stream up right now. I don't want to break the universe and go into a wormhole if I click on this because we're live in the bottom left. We're live right there. Just to give you an example of all the places we're live, right here online, extolmag.com/weather, Extol Media on YouTube. Thanks for liking or subscribing on YouTube as well. We're getting those numbers up. And on our Facebook pages, Extol Weather on Facebook and Meteorologist Ben Peine as well on Facebook. Got the weather story posted for this morning. It's updated here for you. Other weather resources for Southern Indiana and beyond. And there is that interactive radar. Nice breeze out here for today, this morning, coming in from the north. Nice fresh breeze. And these were the low temperatures this morning, dropping to the low 60s in spots in southern Indiana. Another live look outside provided by the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. And definitely, I knew it. Some mornings were just so muggy, no one was out there, but you can see some families out there checking out the fossil beds, the observation deck there at the Falls of the Ohio. So what a morning to do that. Little layer of clouds there, a little kind of low, friendly little layer of clouds over Kentucky. It's sunnier in southern Indiana at the moment. There are our live conditions. Let's get to the forecast in case you missed it. And I'll go ahead and bring this up. So a feel-good Friday here for today for your August 1st. Happy August. A bit more humid in Kentucky Sunday. I think Indiana's still going to be feeling really good Sunday. August-like weather next week, meaning some normal heat and humidity, but not extreme, not a heat wave. 82 today for your play ball forecast. It's looking great. 0% chance of rain. Northeast wind at around 5 to 15. UV index is at a very high level of 9. Can get that sunburn. Moderate levels of weed pollen season. And to sum it up for today, 82 degrees. I'm feeling even a little cooler than that. Kind of an opposite heat index, as the dry air is going to make it feel even better. Sunset at 8:52. We've got Racing Louisville tonight at Lynn Family Stadium in the 70s. Nice and mild. Northeast at 5 to 10. And tonight, 62. Maybe even some, typical cool spots and some valley locations may touch the upper 50s. Our coolest since mid-June. So the ACs get a break for tonight. And your forecast here for your August the 2nd, Saturday. Low 60s if you're up and out early. 70s at noon and 83 for the afternoon high. Just about the same as today. Hopefully you can take advantage of that. And for Lou City tomorrow at Lynn Family at 8 p.m., same. 70s, beautiful evening for us. And then we got the 56th Annual Street Rod Nationals this weekend. Again, my buddy Reed Yaden will be out there live tomorrow morning. Low to mid-80s, slight breezes, lower humidity. In the 7-day forecast, 85 Sunday. Yeah, there's a 20% chance of a pop-up shower. I think that's mostly central southern Kentucky. I think most of us will be dry Sunday, still feeling great. Just a phenomenal first weekend of August. And then about a 30% chance of a isolated pop-up afternoon shower or storm as the humidity is on the rise, with mid to upper 80s for much of our next work week. Looking a little drier perhaps by the end of our next work week, 90 degrees by next Friday. Again, it'll be kind of steamy for our following weekend, but as we saw on our extended outlook, the Ben on a Limb segment, maybe we will actually get some relief towards mid-August once again. So maybe not just stuck in this weather, a muggy weather pattern like we have been all summer long. And once again, want to give a shout out to our partners, which we can't do this without them. We can't do it without you. So we thank you. We thank them. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. If you have any roofing issues, roofing questions, you can give them a call, a free estimate right here on that form right there. You can also just learn more about their company, serving Southern Indiana and Kentucky, commercial, residential, you see financial help. And so you can call them 812-294-3595, 812-294-3595, or just head over to lionsroofingco.com. And if you know someone that needs an opportunity, a job, a career, there is a job opening here, roofing repair technician, as they are busy and expanding. And they have worked with Michael Long. I know that because my mom's roof had to get replaced with a tree through the roof in March. I've talked a lot about that, but you can see all of the 5-star reviews right here, 163 reviews, and he will hook you up with whatever. It might be a car, it might be your home. We've insured our cabin, side by side, whatever it might be. You can get a quote here from Michael Long, covers Indiana, and of course has products in Kentucky as well. 812-578-3072. Tell him I sent you. Tell him Ben sent you. 812-578-3072. Give him a ring. More opportunities here for you at libspaving.com. L-I-B-B as in Ben, spaving.com. And again, you need a career. You need a job. We're talking career job, superintendent, project manager. There you go. And many more here at libspaving.com. family-owned, largest asphalt contractor in the region, right out of the knobs. Here locally, too, the hub of Southern Indiana for our workforce and our future workforce, the Sellersburg campus, ivytech.edu. If you click on, if you have a student that's interested, or you could be at any part of your career, you might be in your 30s or 40s and just want to level up and get different certification. They've got their fall sessions August 25th. So what is Tuesdays at the Tech? You get in-person assistance with getting started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, paying for college. It can be intimidating, post-secondary education, college education, but they make it super easy for you here at Ivy Tech Community College. You can save yourself thousands of dollars. I say it all the time. Through Prosser and through Ivy Tech, over 30 college credits. My daughter is starting off as a second semester sophomore at IU because of these programs. So thank you to them. Got a few more comments popping in, so I'll check this out before we wrap things up. And Vicki Berger says all 3 schools in Washington County going back August 6th. So heading back next week. A lot of schools back this week in Southern Indiana. JCPS is back, I think, right around August 7th, next Thursday. So we got Washington County up the road going back next week. Laura loving that too. That would be nice. 105. We'll see what next weekend has to offer for us. I think next weekend's not going to feel like this weekend, I'll tell you that. We've got an LOL. Laura says, my hubby and son are golfing now at the Crossings. Very nice, very nice. I've been down the Crossings last year. I got to play a little bit out there. Vicky, you should stay off the limb. You're just now getting over the back pain. If in real life, I will stay off the limb. I was thinking about firing up the mower, but I didn't want to wear out the back before the golf. And the grass isn't growing that tall yet. I might give the grass a couple more days to cook and grow, and then maybe Sunday I'll fire up the mower. I did clean the house yesterday. And we've got Laura saying, pretty place there at the Falls of the Ohio. Yeah, I was showing that live cam just a second. And Vicky saying August 2nd, sow your turnips. Nature tip there for you. Lillian, hope it's back up for you there. All right, I think that's all the comments, guys. Thanks for joining us. Ben at 10 from the back deck on this fantastic Friday, August the 1st. I hope you guys can make it a great weekend. Cheers to you with the Bliss Cup. Definitely going to enjoy the weather out here for today. All right, we'll keep the weather forecast going through the weekend, but we'll see you with Extol Unfiltered. That's me and Angie Fenton. We'll talk about whatever is going on Monday at 9 a.m. So join us on all the platforms. Again, that is my page, Angie Fenton's page, Extol Weather, Extol Media, extolmag.com/weather, Extol Media on YouTube. And right after that, it's Ben at 10 Monday. I believe that's August the 4th. So we'll see you back then. We've got a good comment here to wrap things up. Have a good one, all, from Lord of War. All right, we'll see you later. Have a great one.